Hello everyone and welcome back. So today I'm very excited. We have Brave Star, and I wanted to try this brand for a while now, probably for a couple of years. There was a lot of questions from subscribers and comments, and I know it became like pretty popular name in US, particularly among the denim fans. I had a Gaston jeans for like about a year. I didn't like the fit. They really even though the quality was great, but I decided to try this one. They did have this particular Golden Shake by Cone Mills denim, and this is a slim straight cut. So when I went on the chart and I wanted something a little high rise, and there was about 11 inches high rise, and it was I thought it was perfect. What I will do in this video, we'll talk about denim first, then we'll do the measurements, and we'll compare them, the chart they provided on Brave Star, how far off, or is it, right on, and we'll talk about all the hardware and the details such as stitches, and the last part we'll do just a fit video, quick fit. I'm gonna put it on and you guys see how they fit. Let's start. So I think the Golden Shake, it's very interesting, and what it is, there's an old stock. Sometimes there's smaller companies like Brave Star, Gus, and they buy this batch, and this was denim made specifically for Levi's by Cone Mills. As you guys know, they still, there was the last textile mill, the denim mill in US. And so I think that was sort of the contract they entered with Levi's. Looks like it was a huge batch. And this is very interesting because I never had, it's clearly like an older denim. And back in the 80s, I remember I got my first Levi's, and the color very similar to this one. So I think it's funny because I for reference I will show it to you. This is a 1947 Levi's LVC. You see how much darker it is. Look at this. And for disclosure, it has been soaked once, this particular, and it's almost like as you can see, it's almost like black compared to this one. And what interesting is, it's actually remind me exactly like the Levi's 501s I had like in '82. It's it's a beautiful. It's not like a bluish like Wrangler jeans, for example, like number 13. This is just I think it's the right amount of indigo. I really love it. So the Brave Star, what I like about it, actually the price point. This was, I did not mention in the beginning. This one, I think I bought it like $78, $79. There was a Black Friday sale, and and I thought, oh, that's a good deal for the golden handshake. That's like that. This particular denim I actually wanted to try always, and plus shipping, alteration. I paid actually $15 for alteration, which is a good deal too. And plus shipping, I don't remember exactly, it wasn't that much. It still was below $100. I will put the exact price in the description, so I don't have a receipt with me right now. So anyway, below $100, it's a great deal for such a, we'll talk about quality later, but for any, I should say, a Selvedge denim, particular Golden Shake. So the denim is nice. Look, can see there's some imperfections, and you can see some streaks, which I actually like. This is sometimes there's like the shuttle goes, and you see this like through the looms, and there's little streaks. And I know it's hard to see on these videos, but I'll try to show you up close shots. This, of course, ubiquitous, Brave Star. This is actually controversial because some people hate the star and some like it. I personally think, this logo is fine. I don't mind maybe the placement of it. It could be maybe in the corner of this, of the pocket. So it's up to you guys. But so anyway, back to denim. It's very nice. It's this 14 ounces. It's almost like a perfect denim. I think would be interesting what it looks, you know, after the soak. It probably will become a little more dense. I think it's just the perfect thickness for, like I would say, all season. So this is, we have a little red ID here, and for all season, it just, I think it's a perfect denim. I love it, and I love the color, as we mentioned. It's kind of not, and so for reference, so this is 47 LVC, and this is like just raw, was not, I didn't soak it yet. This is denim, just raw denim from its Japanese brand. So right here, this is Kajima, and you can see this is like almost like a gray, and you can see the difference. So, but I said I really like it. It's great. It's pretty even. It's not slobby. Pretty even. I don't see any kind of like, I don't see like a vertical, you know, textures. You know, pretty nice overall. Okay, so back to. Let's talk about the hardware and details. So this is kind of a little letdown, disappointment for me, because I looked at this rivets, and you know, I know it's a like generic, unbranded. There is no any stamp or any brand, which is kind of disappointment, because I think when you have these smaller brands, it's kind of, you want them everything to be just right and perfect, and the details. Because if you're like a denim fan, it's all about the details. It's all little things that's important. It's like when you buy the car, it's all about those little tiny details, especially jeans, because frankly, they're all the same. You have this 5-pocket standard cut, you know, you have this 5 corners, you know, big, you know, in this case, pockets, the back pockets. They all, when you at the first look, they all look the same, but if you don't have those tiny little details, it's a little kind of like, it's a minus for me, like particular, you know, these rivets, the buttons, let's see, it's like a donut button. I don't see, also it's unbranded, it's just generic, you know, like a bay leaf, whatever, laurel leaf, you know, stamp, just the generic donut style. And you can see this one actually in a lot of kind of brands. This is biggest disappointment, to be honest, because when I look overall, it looks pretty nice quality, you know, decent. The stitching is nice. You have this chain stitching, you know, the top, you know, the lower belt, and here as well, nice chain stitch, the orange poly cotton, and you have also cone mill Greensboro label here, and you know, made in US. This is, yeah, and also this size, I have 34, so we'll get back to this. Anyway, inside it goes like a double chain stitch inside the seam here, and of course the selvage goes outside. And yeah, this is one detail I really disappointed. And you have a flat belt loops. There's an ID here on a coin pocket. It has a nice ID, so this is kind of a nice touch. Sometimes they put it inside, but I actually like it when it's visible. And the pockets, it's pretty nice size also, you know, almost like on Levi 501s. I do like it a lot. So also the patch, the brand patch, or jackrons like they call it, it's natural leather, but there is a little, to be honest, it's kind of on the cheaper side, because to be honest, I would like to have a leather like a nubuck or nubuck, when it's sort of like a thick, like Lidas or some other brands. For example, I want to show you, like you see, like this one. This is Japanese brand. It has almost like a 3 millimeters thick, and this is like really nice and kind of like a hefty. So this one is very flimsy. You know what? I don't like even the color. It's not like natural. You know, it's, I don't know what it's. It looks like almost from the glove. You know, funny when I look on a picture on the website on Brevstar, it looks fine, but up close, it just almost like you cut off leather from some kind of like glove, and it's just too shiny for me, and it kind of, I'm sorry, but, and also like there is no walk back stitching here, which means it will probably come off. It has to be secured like a bar tags to keep this brand label here. And usually those patches are coming off. When you put a belt underneath, they're coming off pretty quick. So that's another disappointment. Okay, let's back to the measurements. The measurements are a little off too. Mine size 34, and actually they have a nice customer service, because I think I requested just if they have any smaller little waist in stock. Let's measure this one, and this one would be, okay, let me just straighten up. It's 17 3/4, which is actually nice, because it's enough to stretch it out to, because I need normally 34 Levi's, normally it's like 18 inches across, and this is actually perfect size. And I requested just on this, if they have like on the smaller side, because I think on Brave Star chart, if I'm not mistaken, it mentioned 18 and a half, and I did specifically request it if they have like in the smaller side, and I like it that they actually responded to me. And customer service is fantastic. We'll talk about it later. I also did the hem, the custom hem was made for $15, and we will actually measure. Let's do, okay, this is 17, waist across 17 inches would be and 3/4. So the rise, the front rise, let's do this. Okay, so you guys can see it better. The front rise is, it's 11 inches exact, which is nice. I do like 11, between 11 and 11 and a half. That's kind of a perfect, because I don't want too low. So then you have thigh. Let's measure it. It's 12 and a half, which is nice too. I think it's not too big, it's not too small. And do the front rise. Okay, let's see the 13 in here. Okay, it's 8 and 3/4, I would say. Yeah, it's 8 and 3/4. It's actually a little bigger than on the chart. It says it's 8 and a half. It's slightly wider than I want to. And at the bottom hem would be it's 7 and 3/4. Yeah, 7 and 3/4. But keep in mind, in chart it says 7 and 0.35. It's slightly bigger, but keep in mind, because they go cone shape, like they go down, they cut off, because I think regular size is 36 inches. I cut it down to 31 and a half. So that's why it makes sense, the hem a little. But the knee is slightly bigger than in Brave Star chart. And let's do inseam. It's exactly 31 and a half. 31 and a half. This is just perfect. So yeah, it's measurements is pretty much right on, just slightly, like I said, in the knee. But otherwise, actually, I did not mention at the thigh. Brave Star measures, actually, I didn't want to mention, guys. This is, I forgot to mention. So they measure thigh from 1 inch down here. I measure from the center of the crotch. I measured here. Brave Star measured 1 inch down, and 1 inch down would be 12 and a quarter, which is pretty nice size. So I don't know why they measured 1 inch down, but it's it's up to the company, because most Japanese brands like Iron Hearts and others measure just from the center of the crotch and all the way to the edge. So yeah, and this is it, guys. I think I covered all the details. Like I said, it's a pretty, it's not an exceptional, but nice quality. The letdown for me, it's unbranded rivets, even though I like they punch through, they poked with the denim. with a meat, like they call it. That's a nice touch. That's usually, you know, sign of a good company and a good, you know, good selvage jeans. The lining is, yeah, the lining actually funny. I, you know, almost forgot. This is not like a sort of like a mixed cotton with polyester like other brands, you know, sometimes a pure cotton, 100% like in some brands, but this is actually almost like a nylon. And I should ask them, it's clearly not a cotton. I'm not sure how good it feels in the summer because it, you know, it's pretty much this big part against your skin in the summertime. And it's almost like a nylon. I'm not so sure if it's so good. It definitely strong. The nylon would be strong. So I personally prefer cotton. Okay, so we pretty much covered. Let me summarize it. For the money, I think it's a great deal. I just wish they would improve a little, you know, some details, like I said, the brand page, and, you know, I really don't like this, actually, this page here, the brand page. You know, the rivets, the hardware should be upgraded, I think. Yeah, there's small things like this, even like a packaging, I think they have this whole, yeah, even like a packaging, they have this little thing, you know, that comes in a bag, and it just kind of a flimsy paper. Should be kind of a cardboard or something a little better, to be honest. But again, it's a good price point, and I understand maybe they, you know, don't want to go over the board, and, you know, they understand the company wants to be profitable. Makes absolute sense. The big plus, it's a denim. Quality stitches is nice. You know, all the bar tucks. What I like about customer service as well. The hemming service, $15, not so bad. Under $100, I think it's great. And again, I want to disclose, I'm not endorsing any of my reviews. I'm not endorsing any jeans, and I'm not selling them. The purpose of the video is just pretty much to give you guys the honest opinion, and I think that's what YouTube is for. And any comments or questions are welcome. And also, like about the star, I hope someone would, you know, comment or reply, because there's a lot of controversy. People don't like. Some people think it's cheesy. I think it's maybe the placement, or maybe the logo design, or it should be some kind of a stitching like they do in some other brands, you know, like some stitches with a sort of like a maybe little star here. I don't know. To me, it's actually fine. So I probably would have placed in like a top, you know, right corner of the pocket. And also pockets, there's no hidden rivets here, just the bar tucks, and it's done pretty well. Yeah. Yeah, again, this is my first Brave Star. You know, of course I'm gonna keep it definitely, and I like them overall, and I will do an update videos, you know, after 6 months, or maybe after like a first soak, 6 months to a year, we're definitely gonna be like a follow-up videos. And please check the quick fit video at the end of this post. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget some likes to support the channel. Thank you, guys.